Wickland, and today I'd like to teach you how to make a pair of comfy pants, like the ones I'm wearing. They are loose fit and casual, and they feature an elastic waistband for comfort, and they are so fun and easy to make. You're going to need just a few tools. So first, we need a pair of comfy pants that fit you well or close to fit you. If they're a little shorter than you'd like, a little longer than you'd like, just a little tighter or a little looser than you'd like, those are things we're going to talk about how to adjust today. And you need some fabric to work with, something that is similar to what you have right now. This is a bamboo lycra, but other things you might be able to use that would be appropriate are cotton lycra, French terry, possibly even a sweater knit or a double brushed poly, depending on your comfort, temperature, and sensory needs. And we're going to use some rulers today. And these don't need to be fancy. This is from the hardware store. This is a yardstick. We're going to use some 1 or 2 inch elastic. We're going to use a sewing machine or serger and thread. I'm going to use thread nippers, but you can just use sharp scissors. And if you'd be more comfortable, you're able to use a rotary cutter and mat instead of scissors on a cutting table. That's up to your comfort. I'm going to use some pattern weights, but you don't need to use anything special. These can be tin cans or anything heavy and clean you have available. I'm also going to be using a washable marker. And then for later steps, I'm going to be using some sewing clips, but you could use pins or even a glue stick to hold your fabric together while you sew. Depends on what's comfortable for you. And I'll be using a serger and a sewing machine, but you can just use a sewing machine on a knit appropriate stitch. Okay, first things first, I'm going to take my comfy pants and I'm going to fold them in half so that the front is exposed, and that's going to help me cut my front. And I'm going to take special care to pull out what'll make up the crotch of my pants. This can get sort of tucked inside, and if I traced like this, my pants wouldn't fit the contours of my body very well. So I'm going to make sure that this ends up pulled out. So I'm actually tracing an accurate shape of my pants. And while I do this, I'm not going to be including the cuffs on my pants or the waistband because I'll be adding those separately. When I trace, I'm adding a small seam allowance to my work so that I have room to stitch on without losing any size. My fabric is folded in half, so I'm cutting right now the 2 layers that'll make up the front of my pants. I'm going to trace with a washable marker. Now, I'm going to repeat the process for the back of the pants. So looking at the back of the pants, I'm going to fold. I'm going to make sure, just like before, I'm scooping out the bottom, so I'm actually tracing the real shape of the pants. And just like before, I won't be including the waistband or the cuffs in my trace because I'll be adding that separately. But I will be adding a seam allowance. Now, I'm going to add weight so that my 2 layers of fabric don't shift, and I'm going to cut them out. You can use anything clean and weighted to hold your fabric down. And I have taken a moment, because again, this is washable marker, to add a little F to what will be the front of my pants. And using either a rotary cutter and a rotary cut mat underneath, or a pair of very sharp scissors, I'm now going to cut out what will be the backs and fronts of my pants. I'm now going to clip together my pants along the arc here that's going to make up the front of my pants. And then I'm going to repeat the process along the arc that's going to make up the seat of my pants. And if I were using a print, it would be on the inside. I would be looking at the wrong side of my fabric. And they call that in the industry right sides facing. But being dyslexic, I try to avoid that term because it just puts me into a tailspin. All right, all clipped. And now we're repeating the process on what will be the back of the pants. Now, following my clips, I'm going to serge together what will be the front of my pants and what will be the back of my pants, taking care not to serge over any clips. It's also okay to use a sewing machine on a knit-appropriate stitch. I have the knife on my serger machine to trim off the excess fabric of my seam allowance, but it's okay if you don't have this on or you feel more comfortable without it. It's your pants. These are high stress seams, and so I'm going to serge over these seams twice. Front's done. I'll be repeating this step on the back now.
I can't forget the day we met. Your eyes so blue, me piercing through. I can't forget the day we met. Your smile so bright, it made me swoon. Our love is like a summer's day, hot and endless in a magic way. Whenever I see you, all I can think is my summer love. Been waiting for you, my love. My summer love. Been waiting for you, my love. I can't forget the day we met. You looked so fly in your red Corvette. Your hair, your look, your everything. When I see it all, I knew that you were mine. I'm in love with your hair, your lips, your silhouette in the moonlight shine. With my love, you won't ever be alone. My summer love, been waiting for you, my love. Completely a fool, been waiting for you, my love. Head over heels, I'm blinded by what I feel. My love is forever yours. You have my heart, you have my soul, you have my whole, you have my control. Love me tender, love me sweet. With you I know that I'm complete. I'm in love with the summer's day. For you I'd give my life away. Never leave me, never.
Okay, next we're going to play with our elastic. And for me, I know that going about 2 inches shorter than the actual waistband is probably going to be just about perfect, but I am going to confirm that thinking by just wrapping it around my waist with just a little stretch, because I don't want these overly tight, and using that. So that right there is how we really get that custom fit we're going for. Okay, so for this step, we are going to take a large safety pin. If you have an elastic thingamajig, you can use that, but I'm fine with this. Now, I have my pin securely in my elastic. It's not in the very edge, it's really well in, and it's a good size pin. And I'm going to start slowly working it through the hole that I left in my casing. And I'm going to take care not to twist that elastic in there, okay? Because that's not going to feel great if I do. So I'm just feeling that pin and gently pulling the fabric along as I go. Depending on how much elastic you need for your pants to feel right and how big they are, you might be working a piece of elastic that's significantly smaller through your fabric. It's important to make sure that you don't lose your end, that instead you're scrunching up your fabric onto your elastic. All right, and I'm through, and I'm just going to take a moment to confirm that I haven't twisted it, that it's all laying flat inside of what will be my waistband, and everything is looking okay here. So what I'm going to do now is go ahead and feed this through my serger quite a few times, taking care not to twist it. All right, that's some very well serged elastic.
Photograph in which we were in love, caught in your eyes, waiting for the sunrise. I barely even knew who you were. What did you do? I didn't care, 'cause you were perfect, I swear. But somebody told me that it's over. I know it's true. You made me happy for a while. Times when we slept on top of cars. Now I don't know you, you don't know me too. I remember fleeting times when we watched the sparks so fire. Now I don't know you, you don't know me too. Stars shone in our eyes like the lights of fireflies. We were obsessed and we felt warmth in our chests. Your heart was full of dreams. It made you feel extreme. Give me a sign if you keep it in mind. But somebody told me that it's over. I know it's true. You made me happy for a while. I remember fleeting times when we slept on top of cars. Now I don't know you, you don't know me too. I remember fleeting times when we watched the sparks so fire. Now I don't know you, you don't know me
exciting. Now we are going to be able to attach the waistband we made to our pants. And remember, when I got to the end, I marked a little F on what's now at the inside for front. So while the back has a deeper scoop and a more advanced sewist might know the difference, you've made yourself a little cheat. Okay, so I'm gonna take what is the back of my waistband and line it up with the back of my pants. And I'm gonna clip there. And I'm just gonna pull out the waistband here and I'm gonna fold, right? And now I know exactly where the middle of the front is, and I'm gonna put a clip there. And now I'm gonna clip that to the seam in my front. Okay, and you'll see right now the waistband is set up so that it's folding down into the front of the pants that I'm working on. Okay, now I'm gonna come and attach this side seam to the side and the other side seam to the other side. And then I'm gonna add just a few more clips throughout so that it's well distributed, so that I'm not playing, oh, let me hold my fabric while I serge. I don't have to do that. It's not necessary. I've got my clips doing the job. And watch what I'm doing here. See how the pants are a little bit bigger than the waistband? I'm just gonna stretch. And then clip. I'm just gonna stretch and then clip. The whole way around. This part takes a moment to get it just how you want it to. But I want you to know that you deserve this time for yourself. Whatever it is that you want to be doing, painting, sewing, baking, reading a book, scrolling on your phone, it is so easy to listen to those external voices telling you that you always have to be busy, that you always have to be super present to be a good person in whatever capacity, just stretching and clipping. But I want you to just sometimes give them a shh. Someday I won't be able to be on this planet anymore, and right now, just right now, this moment is for me. That's pretty revolutionary when you think about it. Stretch and clip. Breathe in, breathe out. Got this time for you. My waistband is all clipped on, so I'm just gonna serge around, and I'm gonna do that pretty slowly. Take your care to make sure that the waistband is actually getting attached to the pants, and that I'm not serging over any clips, and that my waistband and that my pants aren't crumpled under there, giving me some messy stitches. Oh, and I'll have to turn that back on, and I'll turn the sewing machine off while I'm at it. Very gently pulling forward, just like before, my waistband while I sew. And I'm taking a decent size seam allowance, so that stitch where we made sure that our waistband was well attached to the bottom Our elastic was well seated in the bottom of our waistband, and the part where we serged our waistband shut, that's all getting serged off as it's getting attached. And we're just gently stretching. And going slow. This minute's for us. Just right now, right here, for what we want to do, because taking care of ourselves, it makes us happier people, it makes us better parents, better friends, better activists, better partners, children to our parents, if we still have a relationship with them. Waistband is just about on, and I'm going to go around it a couple times to reinforce that stitch. Okay, we're on the final step. How exciting. Remember, we've got our cuffs set aside, so we're going to unfold them, and then with our pretty part facing in, we're just going to connect the side seams of both cuffs. So remember, if you are working with a print, that print is going to be folded in, and you're just going to be looking at the not printed side, okay? So now, just like we did with the waistband, we're going to fold this down so that the stitch is now on the inside, and we're going to be lining up all these raw edges, and it's going to feel a little funny to do that as our hands learn to do this strange chore. I really like it, but it definitely is a strange feeling. So now I've got one cuff. And now I've got my second cuff, okay? Well, I will soon. I'm lining up the raw edges, making sure the stitch is landing inside so that no matter which way I'm looking at it, there's no exposed stitch. Now I'm going to take my pants, just like before, they're facing right side out, so there's no exposed stitching, just the raw ankle now. And I'm going to put one of the cuffs onto the pants, and you can do this any way you like, but I'm going to try to have it so that the seam where those cuffs were connected is going to fall on the inside of my ankles. And just like the waistband, this cuff is just a little bit smaller than the opening to the bottom of the pants. So I'm going to take care to gently stretch it and then clip. So gentle stretch and clip. Clip. We did the side, so I'm going to do the front and back now. Stretch and clip. Stretch and clip. And I'm going to use lots of clips here. Okay, all clipped on. And now I'm going to repeat the process over here. And again, I'm going to try and set it up so that the seam of my cuff is going to fall on the inside of my ankle. See how I'm sliding this over the right sides of my pants? And this is going to feel a little funny, but when we hold our cuff, when we fold our cuff down, we're not going to be able to see the seam, which is going to land right here anymore. It's going to end up on the inside of our pants. Okay. Alright, so I have the side stem. I'm going to do the back and the front. Good. Now just like before, I'm going to do a few more clips to make sure that any area where that fabric is wider on the bottom of the pants than it is on the cuff, that I just stretch it and throw a clip in the middle, because that'll help keep everything lined up and not too lumpy under my stitches, and make sure that I'm getting every layer lined up, so that I'm not leaving part of my cuff or my pants out of that stitch. Now I'm taking the free arm off of my serger, and I'm just going to stitch around. And I'm gonna, just like before, have to very gently pull as I stitch. And some of my clips are probably gonna come off, but I'm gonna be holding my fabric stable as I go, so it'll be okay. Bit of a project sometimes feeding these small clip covered cuffs into the free arm area. Okay, and I'm gonna take off the clips that are too close to my serger foot for me to work, and I'm going to start. We're so close that it's tempting to rush, but let's finish strong. Let's take a moment. Sometimes as I'm serging around, the little clips get stuck in this free space, but it's very easy to pull them out. Just know if you're trying to put your free arm back on and it's not going, you just have a clip down there. Okay, see how I folded my cuff down now? And that just looks so cute. Alright, and now we're going to repeat the process on the other side. Good. One of my clips popped off. Alright, and just like before, I'm now just going to fold down my cuff, and there's a clip down here in the free arm area, so I'm taking that out and I'm putting my free arm back on. And I think my pants are done. How exciting. So I'm just gonna go try them on. I'll be right back. Hi everybody, my comfy pants are done. I feel so cute and comfy, and wow, this freedom of movement. It's so awesome. So I just want to thank you so much for supporting this channel, for watching with me, and for taking a minute to do something for you. I love how cute these cuffs are. And I wanted to say that these are definitely not leggings, and you might be getting really inspired right now to think, I want leggings actually. So that will probably be one of my next videos coming up really soon. Or you might just take what you've learned here and make the applications to make your own cool pair of leggings. I hope you do. But I'll be doing a video of all the steps that you can do to make your own leggings soon. And thank you for following along. It's nothing short of amazing to me that I get to do this, that I get to do what I love and share it with people. And
it's because of you. So I hope that you're having an awesome day, and I hope that you feel my appreciation. All right, bye.